Good evening and welcome to UNCCLA Listens and Speaks. This is the 83rd series. My name is Nora Sende, your host this evening. Today we are getting into a very incredible and timely conversation, and that is the role of women in the church today. Well, we are privileged this evening to have two remarkable women, that is Mary Assumpta Gidudu, who is the president of Uganda Catholic Women's Apostolate, and Florence Kwesigabo, the coordinator of Family Office at the Uganda Episcopal Conference. You're welcome, ladies.
Thank you. All right.
It is nice to have this conversation and at such a time as this, isn't it?
Thank you. True,
Yes,
true.
yes, it is. Well, for everyone viewing us out there, these two ladies have been instrumental in shaping the contributions of women within the church. And today we'll be exploring their thoughts on how women are influencing and transforming their faith communities. Well, from leadership roles to their vital presence in family and communities, the role of women in the church is evolving and becoming more pronounced every single day. Well, together we'll look at how the church can continue to uplift and empower women for service and leadership. We, as a society, how can we support this very crucial work? This is a very timely conversation, and it has come at a very important time. And I'm so glad that I'm in studio. I am actually interacting with women in leadership and in church leadership. You're welcome, Madame Florence, once again, and you're welcome, Madame Gidudu.
Thank you.
Assumpta.
Thank you very much, Nora.
We're going to start off and just dive right into it. And we just need to know let's start with Madame Florence here, because you are right next to me. What inspired you to take on this role, really, in leadership? And how has your journey as a woman of faith really shaped your leadership?
Now, thank you very much, Nora. What inspired me? That's a big question. First of all, I love my faith, and I think I got a good basic catechism. So another thing that kept me inside the church was during my marriage instructions. The priest told me that when you get after the wedding, please remain friends of the church. And I remained a friend of my church because of that statement from a priest who was instructing us. Now, within the church there, I was elected in Nabafumbo, sub-parish in Kampala here at Christ the King. Then I became a Nabafumbo parish. We went for elections later for Nabafumbo Dinare, and I was elected Nabafumbo Dinare. I ran the 4 parishes of Kampala, Christ the King Dinare, Old Kampala, Christ the King itself, Zambia, and Mengo Kisenyi. Now, in that time, I was doing interactive talks. Each parish set out to do interactive talks. The interactive talks marketed me so much, to the extent that we used to have even dinners with married people. So it was through those meetings that I got to meet many people. And one time when there was a call for church, I think it was a man and a woman were required to attend a meeting at the Vatican, organized by the Pontifical Council of the Family. I happened to be that woman who went with the chairman Onukula at that time. And when I came back, I wrote a report. I wrote a report which I shared with all the bishops that time. That was 2009. Now, after sharing that report, I think I remember even meeting Monsignor Kauta, and he asked me one time to write a concept paper for that work I was talking about, family. So I did it, and when Trokea came with a program of domestic violence prevention, they sourced us out and we went for interviews at Trokea. That's where I was given the position of National Coordinator, Family Office. And from that time, I've never looked back. I've been there. This is my 12th year in that office. And we have been doing domestic violence prevention campaign and women empowerment. Much as we talk about family, our entry to the family has been women. And people have been saying, why are you only with women? But we do talk and plan with the priests and catechists and even the religious. When we call our national meetings, all those people come around. So it is not only that we are with women, although I'm so proud that the women have been very pivotal in making things be hard. During my time, they have elected the first president ever for the women. And now we have that president, and she's the one president here.
That's very
And
nice.
that was during our time. And I am still very grateful to her because she has also been able to move forward. Where we say there's this, she goes forward. And we have linked up to the World Union of Catholic Women's Organization.
Yes.
So you can see that it is a long journey. It is not just an inspiration that it came overnight,
Yes.
but it is growing with the faith. And that is how we come to be here. And really, because of all of that we have been doing, we have reached a stage of hosting the whole world here.
Yes.
In July this year.
Very exciting.
Thank you very
there.
much.
I also want to hear a little more about Madame Assumpta, Madame President, as you have been addressed, Women's Catholic President.
Thank you, Barbara.
Your inspiration to this role and how has your faith shaped your leadership really? In very brief, before we dig into the other questions.
Thank you, Nora. I'm glad to be here tonight and to air on UCTV. I'm Maria Assumpta, a mother of 5, and I just wanted to let you know that I have my inspiration to take on the roles of the women didn't just come overnight. When I was elected the first in 2007, 2007, I was elected woman leader at my parish. That was in the Uganda diocese. And actually, I didn't know that I could reach this far. But with time, I managed to reach to attend synods in the Uganda diocese in 2007, the first synod, later on another synod. So I picked interest into leadership of the church. And so far, I've now served 17 years at different levels of women leadership. Yeah. When I got to the level I am at now at as a president, I'm not doing this work alone. We have a whole committee of women who work together. We have a council of 38 members who represent 4 provinces in the country. So we've got a lady from Gulu, another one from Kampala, Mbarara, and Tororo Archdiocese. So I'm not doing this work alone. We have a team behind us, of which we have leaders in each of the 19 dioceses. We have chairpersons. So I can't do it alone.
Right.
Yeah, they are doing their work that way, their work that way, independently. They have got independent leadership, and they do their work right from the parish level. They climb up to the sub-parish, parish, and then the diocese. And those committees are being organized by each level in each diocese. So this Catholic Women Apostolate is an ordinary association, but it is for women only. Women only. It is voluntary. It is not political. It's just faith-based. So whatever we are doing religious activities as lay apostolate women. So it is a part of the umbrella of UNCCLA. That is the Uganda Catholic National Council of the Laity. We serve under the Directorate of Lay Apostolate Commission under the Bishop Conference. So we are not doing our own things. We are doing everything under the church structure.
Right.
Thank you.
That's very nice to know. And as you were introducing yourself and a little bit of your background, you mentioned that you're not only doing this work alone, but you have a team and a series of so many people that are behind, actually, that get me a glimpse that there are so many women involved in church participation and in roles and in leadership, which is a good thing. I will remain with you and just ask you, what are some of the most significant contributions that are women making to the church in this era and today?
Thank you. Women are not quiet as they used to be in the past. Women are eager to lead other women, and while they're doing that, they've managed to also penetrate other offices. You find a treasurer, a woman leader has been a woman leader at the parish. The next time you hear she's the man leader on the, not on women's committee, but now goes into the parish level, because people they realize that women are quite honest into money keeping and financial management. So as they gather together in groups of women, the church also identified people who can manage to do things at the parish level and the Christian level. Yeah.
What, in your perspective, would be some of the significant contribution of women in the church today? Madam Florence.
Women, well, thank you very much for that question. Significant contribution of women is very big, and we know that they have done much. One of the contributions is mobilizing their children, their youth, to be within the church. They contribute in the church, cleaning the church. I even always tell priests that a parish which has no active women is like a dead parish. So the contribution of women, you all know that when we go to church, the women are majority, the children are there because they have gone with their mothers. And of course, we know that even men go to church, but when we are talking about women, we are just talking about what women have done. So the contribution of women has been very high. In the church has also other institutions. For example, the health centers, the schools, the women are there as teachers, as administrators, and all of that augments the work of the church.
And how have the roles of the women in the church evolved today? The roles of the women in the church, let's say 50 years ago, have changed a bit from the roles that the women are having now. How has that evolved in your perspective?
Now, what maybe I want to share is that there have been women groups in the past with their own leaderships. And you may find this year, this woman is very good and things are vibrantly moving. Then the next, maybe after 5 years, they have voted for another woman, things are not moving so well. So it has been like a vicious cycle. It comes and goes up and down. But this time, I think we are looking at people who can implement certain things. If we say this is a program, we want people who can do work. Now, this time we are saying women, for example, when I'm doing national work and they are sending representatives from the diocese, I ask the bishops that, please, can we have women who can articulate, who can speak English? So we get women who have gone to school. Now we have women with masters who are coming as people who are serving at the church, at diocesan level when we talk here. So their contribution has been massive. Now that they are there, things are being done differently. That's how you can even see that they have been able to mobilize. They have come during this time of my term of office, they have come to Kampala, they have elected their president. And they have not stopped there, they have continued to work. They are linking up with the international world. When we went to Rome to debate with the World Union of Catholic Women's Organization, we were given resolutions on what to implement during this period of 3 years from that time last year. So we are now busy with that. Those are things which come to do with even Laudato Si, the women's work with the environment, women's work at home, women's work in the offices, all those things are shared. So the contribution of women actually are custodians of life. Women now, we are even saying women are custodians of Mother Earth. If the women turn out to be bad, the whole community can be bad. So we are mobilizing women to improve. And there's much. Even here, when I did a gender audit here at the Secretariat, there are many women even here now in this office. You see women are serving in the wires behind there. So women's contribution has been really massive, and I'm very happy that it's being felt now. It is being felt.
So we see how the role has actually evolved so much that we see the impact that women have in church across the board, really. That is what you're saying. I want to go a little bit into family, and Madam Gidudu, you'll help me a bit with that. Family is basically the foundation, when you look at it, of society and church. How is a woman's role important in family in regards to building the church?
Yeah, you know, a family is the first church, as we all know. So the moment the mother is strong, the mother is a good believer, a mother can teach children, educate them religiously, the family is actually a stronger one. So when the child leaves the home, the child can narrate prayers. The mother can send him out to go and join other children. Whatever she has given the child at home, the child carries it out to the other children in the community and also to the church at large. So I feel that when you are a mother closely monitors or teaches the children the religious activities, the family is a successful one.
Yes.
To me, that's what I think.
I want to throw some light on that, because that is the office right now that you hold. And a little insight before we delve into something else. The family, how the woman influences the family and faith.
Now, we have also heard in the past some statements which say that mommy is the family. Mommy is the family. Really, if a mother is not at home, the family is very cold. So we know that a mother is a family, a woman is a family. Women design families in a unique manner. If a mother is a good mother, the children will be happy, even the husband will be happy. So we shouldn't underestimate the role of a mother in building a family, because everything that takes place there, the practical daily living, is done by the mother. Of course, we are not going to forget homes where mothers are not there, but in reality, it is a mother who should be making a home.
Yes.
And should be helped to make her home, not disturbed in making the family.
Let me stay with you there. Do you believe women are given enough space to lead, or more needs to be done?
Yeah, space is there. Space is there for all women. But the challenge we have with our women is that, for example, if they say an office like mine is vacant, they want somebody with a master's. And now, if you don't have, whom are you going to tell that they have not given me a job when you don't have the basics? So vacancies are there, but we have now work. We have work of trying to improve our girls. We work with the Interreligious Council of Uganda, and when we are sharing, I share with Radia. She says, now I have 1,000 graduates, fresh from the time I entered that office. Those are the things now we are looking at. How do we guide our girls in career, in choosing courses that take them to be in some offices that can make you earn a living, and also offer society our services. So everything is there, but we have that shortage. I'm not going to say that the women can be everywhere. They can't be everywhere, because some spaces now require you to have basic experiences on that line. So we really try to look at that. We also are aware of some women who have gone to sit in positions and do nothing there. So we are all trying to share awareness with each other.
Yes. So it's not just about a woman taking on a position role. The woman has to be influential in that position. So it's not just about taking up spaces. We need more space.
Yeah.
What are you doing with the spaces that you're given is the question, right?
That is it.
And I just want to hand over to Madame Gidudu there. Do we need more space, or are we doing enough with the space that has already been given?
Me, on the other hand, I believe that they have given us space. It's just that the women are too slow. They are waiting for the men to conduct them around to decide for them. I think that one, we are still a bit naive as women, but they have given us space really in the church. Because if in the past they could not allow a woman to get a microphone and go in the pulpit and you start addressing an audience in the church, the congregation, there wasn't that chance. But now we have chances. We have chances, but it's only that perhaps the men should be a bit liberal, give us space so that we can reach our people faster or better.
Yes, yes. You talked about a little bit of women being a bit slow and shy. How does our influence in the African culture limit our positioning ourselves in such spaces? I'll go to you, Madam Florence, because it has an influence somewhere.
Yeah. Culture has an influence because you also know that when a boy is born, people are excited. They say, let them slaughter a goat. When a girl is born, they say, oh, buy sweets or buy for the mother or slaughter chicken. The culture does things just like that. But of course, in primitive, maybe we can say primitive families, such things are still there, but we are getting out of there. The culture, for example, if the father or mother is sick, it is the girl that will say, stay home and keep a member of the family. If there is a shortage in fees, they will say, let the boys go while the girl first waits until resources are there. So culture tries to put us down, but we are now working, as you hear, we say interreligious council, we work with even cultural leaders. So all these things are now being shared in our platforms so that we remove things which make women remain at the bottom. So we want sharp women. We want women who go to marry and they know what to take there, not what to say, what have I got from there. That is now where we are.
Okay. This is a very interesting conversation. And if you're watching us, thank you so much for tuning in. We are discussing the role of women in the church today. It's a very broad, in-depth conversation that we're having. And I'm so glad that I have these two ladies in studio and the leaders to actually discuss with me. In the recent years, there has been a very growing conversation about the inclusion of women that's in the very aspect of church life. What do you think are the key factors influencing this conversation? Conversations all over the place about how women need to be more into the church life and then spaces. What is driving this conversation in your outlook, really, when you see it? Let me go to Madame Gidudu.
Thank you, Barbara. I think women are becoming sort of, in their communities, they are realizing that Catholic women are left behind. The Anglican Church, the saved people, these women, they are allowed to become priests, and they go and manage parishes. You know, you hear Reverend so Reverend Barbara is in charge of the parish in Nyenga. Another one is a bishop in Busoga. You understand? We have heard that. Why you women, Catholic women, and where nobody says a word. We are not there. We are not there. And I believe that people now say what's happening with the church, and they push us. They tell us, what are you up to? You understand? So, and then they think that we are boring. They especially the young Catholic women think it's a bore. It's boring to be what we are today. So they start looking for other avenues. How can they come out to be heard? And perhaps we, the older group, need to be enlightened more so that we can appreciate that now the new ones, perhaps the youth want a change. They want to see themselves leading in the church as women.
Right. What do you think is driving this conversation in your view, Madame Florence?
I will go back to that meeting that they invited us, organized by the Pontifical Council of the Family. The concern was the failing family. The concern with our different backgrounds, there was something going wrong in the family. So the discussion was around that. Now, talking about family, talking about domestic violence, and without talking about a woman who is inside the family, in the house there, was not making sense. So now they started talking about women involvement in planning, in implementing, in the decision-making within the church. There are spaces that we can't reach, but using the church structure, messages reach the bishops, and they have all agreed that something has to be done to improve the families. And who can improve the family? It is the mother, it is the woman, it is the mother of those children. So that is where we are now. Our entry to improve family is through women. We do sensitization, we create awareness of what people need to know before they go to start a family. That is very, very important. We call it digging the foundation. If your foundation of looking for a life spouse is shallow, that is what you will reap.
Right.
So that is what is going on now.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll stay with you on this. For women to play their roles properly in the church, they need allies.
Mhm.
And what better allies than the men? How can the men help the women to play significant roles in the church in this instance?
So we have talked about male involvement, much as we do our work as women, but we are talking about male involvement. Even when we do our design, or we design information, education, and communication materials, those who have come to the national level to study, they have seen this man. We call him an ideal man. So we still talk about male involvement. We also try to tell them what type of man is ideal. And it is in just that picture. That picture describes an ideal man. I'm not going to go into that, but those who come for trainings go back with this book and they do it implement on the ground. Get the men and tell them, as Bishop Odama said, even boys matter. So we really have to work together with men. They are our allies, even in our resolutions with the World Union of Catholic Women's Organization. Resolution number 4 is about the family. And we cannot do family without men. That one is not clear yet. We have to do family with men, even in our activities that we do. We invite priests, we invite catechists, we invite the religious for awareness raising on matters concerning male involvement and, of course, prevention of domestic violence.
Yes. You can add your word.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we also have we have also had the opportunity to realize that the boy child is most times left behind, but many ministers in the church are now encouraging us to bring the boy child on board whenever we are discussing these issues. One time, one bishop, we visited one diocese. He was not there with us, but he left us a very key note. He advised us that you mothers, you go out there, you discuss small things. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to bring up quality children. He advised that bishop, he knows himself if he hears me tonight. Yeah, he told the women, go and bring up quality children, quality boys and quality girls. That's when you are going to find quality families in the future. And then you also can find quality priests and quality nuns. But if you don't do that, you are not caring for the boy child, you are looking after the girl child only, you are going to end up in a mess. That's how that bishop said it.
Well said,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
If you are walking out there and then you randomly bump into a lady, a woman, a Catholic, right? And then you ask a question, you pose a question to this lady, what does the church need to do to empower you more? Let me go to you, Florence, Madam. What responses do you think you would actually hear?
Of course, you say random woman.
Yes. What responses would you hear with that question?
They would have very many different responses. There are those who are satisfied with what the church is doing, but you will also meet those who are saying church is not helping us. When they say church is not, it is like those ones who shout, government etuyambe, government etuyambe. Now, when you say how church is not helping us, you are the church. You yourself who is asking for church to do something, you are the church. Now, how can you keep asking what the church can do for you? You need to go there. First of all, we get teachings in the church. When we go for teachings, those teachings are meant to improve us spiritually, mentally, physically, and all otherwise. Now, when you are improved like that, you are expected to find means and ways of doing daily living. But if you start thinking the church, well, we know that the church has done much. First, the hospitals we go to are built by the church, they are managed by the church. The schools, some of the schools are managed by the church. But now if you stand somewhere and you are still waiting that you want the church to do something for you, for me as now also a church leader, I get confused of really what you are trying to ask for. Yes.
Yes, I would like to hear Madame Gidudu on that response. If you ask someone, what does the church need to do to empower you more? What kind of response do you think you will get?
Unfortunately, most of these women, especially in our Catholic Church, they are not bothered. They have given up. They have given up, and they believe perhaps what the men talk is best. You understand? So we need time. We need to go back to them and make them realize that it's not too late, or that's not enough. They need that. Most of them have given up. They say, oh, Father said this. Hey, Father, whatever Father says, it is right. You sure you have to believe in your what? In your Bwana Mukuru. That's how they take it. So it is a challenge to us women leaders when we send the diocesan leaders or the parish leaders. They think that one is trying to challenge what? The doctrine. Isn't that so, madam? They think it's a challenge. So we need to go back among ourselves to go and start to find a way of building it up so that people can appreciate that whatever we are realizing now is for the good of them also.
Now, let's talk a little bit more about spirituality and the spiritual life. Now, how do lay women impact on the spiritual life of the Catholic community? Let's go down to the parish level, really. Let's start with you.
Yeah, thank you very much. When we go to the parish, first of all, our work, we do our work through the church structure. When we go to the parish, even you yourself, you can just take a walk to some parish, sit somewhere, either early morning, 7 o'clock mass or 1 o'clock, you'll find that there are many women who are going to church. There will be adoration time, the women are there. There's some churches have a grotto, the women are there with their children. So they are example to others and their children. So the spirituality is built on practice. They say faith without actions is dead faith. If you're at home and you say you are very religious, you don't even go to church, you don't meet other people, then that is what we may even term as dead faith. So the women are building themselves in faith. First of all, they go for confession, they go for mass, they go for all those activities that happen in the church. The women are there. They have also taken leadership positions at parish level. Some of them counsel others. So all of that is geared to strengthening others spiritually, including themselves. As you help others, you also help yourself. When you are doing counseling and you are listening to people's problems, you also adjust, because sometimes you will say that, let that problem be there. I don't need that one. Let me remain with mine. So the women have done a lot, and we really continue to sensitize them and to make them believe that they should believe in themselves. This lost hope that people say, oh, women are, we want to raise hope where it has been lost. That is our social work.
Hope where it has been lost.
Yeah.
You could add a little bit more on what Madame Florence is saying. Sure.
Yeah. I've served at parish levels, and I know what it is to reach those ladies. The moment you are working as a parish leader, you don't stop at the parish church, but you go deep down up to the small Christian communities. These people, the one problem that they are having now is that they don't have time. Women don't have time for chat, for praising, for praying, and they wait for a season. For example, if they wait for May, then they go for rosaries. Then you start now, it's your responsibility to remind them, we are now going to start May, so it is rosary month. So you as a leader, you've got to make sure you emphasize it during your work plan, that the month of May is for what? Is for rosary. October is for also rosaries, so that at least they can remember It has to sink down from you, the parish leader. And then you have pilgrimages, let me say, people going to Namugongo for pilgrimage. You have to include it in your work plan. As you discuss right from the beginning of the year, they should be knowing that now this month is for Lent. What do we do when it is Lent time? We wait for the day of the cross. What do we do? You have to help them, because they are too busy, they forget. So during your work plan as a woman leader in the parish, you have got to include all that. You include the spiritual part, and then you also put in the social and then the economic, so that they can know that you are not leaving them to struggle with only a religious life. Yeah, so as a woman leader in the parish, you have a lot of work to do,
Yes.
because you just report to the diocese. The diocese has no women. It is you who has women in that parish of yours.
I can see there's still immense work and contributions really that women are doing in the church.
In the church.
Now, despite all this contribution and the immense work that women are doing in the church, there is still an ongoing debate about women's leadership in the church. What are your thoughts? I'll start with Madame Florence here. What are your thoughts on that? The debates keep on raging about women leadership in the church, and yet we say the women are
Are trying.
contributing. What is happening?
Well, I really don't know how to put it, but we cannot even say that the church is biased. The women are there. I want you to raise it a bit again, that question.
Yes. Now, despite the contribution of women in the church, there's still debates about their role in leadership positions within the church. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, what I want to say is that the roles of women are also clear in the church. But what I know is that there are not many. The positions in the Catholic Church, top positions, women are not there. They are not there. So we cannot start talking about, there are not enough women to create a platform where people can. We are just working on it now, that let us have women, a cluster of women who can be there, that they serve in the church and they have these roles and they are creating impact. Because there are people who sit in positions for 5 years, they have never even called a gathering of the people they lead. They say she's in Abafumbo, or she's a woman leader, she's in some department, but she has never done anything about calling people, first of all, to tell them what they are expected of and so on. So the roles are there, but the occupants are few. That's what I would say.
The roles are there, the occupants are few. The other thing that you mentioned is placing a woman in a position and it's just there for the sake because the person is a woman. You know, there is no clear cut between a spiritual leader or a political leader in that sense.
Even in the church, there is elections. Sometimes people are voted into positions and they perform less than we expect. And there's nothing you can do about it. So even in the church, it is the same. People are elected, they are given positions, they have, in those positions, they have roles, but they are not performing.
So we need women who are in these positions.
They are professionalizing. Me, I'm saying that even the positions of the church leadership, they should be professionalized. Let a woman who understands what she's expected of be there. When we go to offices, you find that there's even no handover. Then, like, where do I start from? And that is how I started. Where do you start from? There's nobody you are not replacing anybody. Now we are talking about getting people in leadership positions, know their roles, and do proper succession planning. Me now, I'm planning to hand over. I'm doing my work knowing that at this moment, if those people who come after us are perfect, things will continue moving the way we are trying to plan to take them.
I'd like to hear Madame Gidudu's voice on this one.
Thank you. You see, for me, I believe that the women are not given enough space, enough chances to take decisions. That's what I think. Because when you share information with these diocesan leaders in their dioceses, you find sometimes they are suppressed by their boss, their, I don't know what to call it, their bishop. Sometimes the bishop does not want even to listen to this woman, yet she's very influential and people think that she's the good material that they want. So it also comes down to the parishes. Some priests have no time for women's issues, but some of them are so encouraging that you love to work with them. Me, the priests that I've worked with, they really made me. I never attended a synod in my life. I didn't know what a synod is, but when she saw the priest saw me that I was a woman leader, she said, "Can you attend the synod?" I came to Gaba. I'd never been to Gaba. And then from there, that's when I learned that this goes on in the church. The church has to sit sometime in a year, and then they plan for the church. That's when I started contributing towards what? The church issues. Otherwise, I didn't know. And that's when I knew that, okay, you can sit with the bishop and you can also contribute as a woman, But if I had not gone to those synods, I don't think I would be what I am today. You understand? So I think sometimes the management, there's a gap. There's a gap into decision making. There's a gap into knowing more of your diocese or what you can also do.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I see these debates are still going to continue with the looks of things. You've talked about some of those, and I'm looking at some of the challenges that women are facing in today as they execute their roles in the church. Let me throw that to you. What are some of the major challenges that you face? I'm so glad you are in leadership. And so we could start with some of your challenges. Yes. Madam Florence.
Oh,
The
yeah.
video was fast.
Oh, I was still
hope
waiting.
I
I thought you were there. Okay, thank you very much. The challenges the women face in leadership in the church is, maybe I should call it, is it suspicion? There's where people say, Florence, National Family Office, what is she doing there? Who brought her here? So we have those challenges where people question others in their departments or in their offices where they are going to be. And sometimes they try to refuse to believe that you are in that office. Those are some of the challenges. People try to imagine that that position should be for a man. And those are the challenges of women. They imagine that a national office should be a man. Maybe it should be a priest. How can it be Florence? Me, I have come growing with focusing on the family. Even when I went back for further studies, my work, I was orienting myself to focus on the family unit. And I have specialized in gender issues over that because I wanted to be there. Now, even the bishops, when they watch us and see what we are doing, they are convinced that I'm doing something. When I go to Masaka and women have gathered there on a Women's Day, Bishop Ujumba said, Florence, is it like this all over? I say, okay, you need to go to Nebi, you need to go to Kotido, you need to go to Hoima, and see the sea of women. And this is all about mobilization. Mobilization is also a skill which we are taught. So when you mobilize people and they come and you create awareness, you find that people can move. So the challenges are many. One of the challenges, that is part of it, but also us as women, we have our challenges of not being either articulate, of not having achieved enough papers, of maybe we have them because when they do voting, they elect from parish. They come up like this. So you find that somebody is challenged. And really, when it comes to matters of programming, matters of accountability, matters of what, you need the intellect to handle these matters. So if you don't have that, you find that you are challenged in all these areas. Otherwise, we are trying to campaign that we should be supporting each other. We are trying to prove that we can manage as women. We are trying to show that we can do it. I went to some dioceses, and of course, someone was saying, you man, you cannot go to the bishop. The bishop is doing this. I told the woman, you come and I go with you to the bishop. So when we reached there, maybe it is another one. When we reached there, the bishop, oh, Florence. Then he said, these are the women we commissioned that are for Africana to do our work. And that priest was silent. who had told us we can't see the bishop. So we still have those challenges here and there. But me as myself, I'm not worried of that because it has been there. It has been like a tradition. Women are, in fact, Muslims, the women are, you pray from behind there, at least for us now, we mix. So I'm not worried about that because we are working on all these things. It is about awareness raising, it is about sensitization, it is about identifying who should do what.
I see Madame Gidudu was itching to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to say something.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to let you know that we have realized that in many circumstances, women are jealous of each other. Catholic women, they are a bit naive. Sometimes they are jealous of each other and they pull themselves, to call PhD, pull themselves down. And you can be, for example, you can be, you attend a function and they recognize someone and they don't realize that, they don't want you to realize that you are there. And we've seen it because you can go to a function, not one, not two, but quite a number. They will introduce the LC1 political leader, they introduce the what, everybody, and you, a woman leader who has come and you are in charge or you are responsible and you are to meet the biggest number of women who are around, and those people don't recognize you. It is there. So I don't know if it is a matter of jealousy or they don't want a woman to be recognized that she can be on top, and that's one thing. Number two, to me, that challenge can be addressed. It can be addressed like every time we are having like seminars, workshops. We should be able to encourage these ladies when they go out there in their various communities to make people realize their importance or their level of knowing what to tell other women. I mean, now, when we are talking about encouragement, we've got women, for example, we've got women whom you can look at, and you see this woman is very sharp, but she's not in the structure of leadership. We can miss her. You can go to Hoima, you see somebody, say, that one could have made, perhaps she could make somebody to succeed my office if I left, and she can even be a better person. You understand? But this church structure does not give her a chance to be elected. Like if I left my office and I want somebody to come and succeed me, that person can't get a chance to come to be elected because she's not in the structure of women leadership. And yet they have got nice ideas. They have opened or started circles. They have encouraged women financial management here and there. I don't know what one could do, what we could do as women leaders, Madam Florence. What do you think we could do?
Now, of course, we are sharing those challenges.
Yes.
We are sharing the challenges. But what I wanted us to understand is that we have to address those challenges, because when I entered the office, those are the things I was looking at, because I know that there are women who are out there to shut somebody from leading others and telling them things which matter. People want people to be in zigzag. They want people to be blind, so they shut them down. I came knowing that this is there in the church because I led at the parish. So I came wanting to address all of those challenges and differences. What I want to see is that the women can do something on their own. Now, like these ones who shout, challenge of inter-women battles, that one, for me, I like it. Because, first of all, as she says, as the president says, you find women who are good, but they don't belong to the mainstream structure whereby you must be elected. That is why I'm so happy with the wing of World Union of Catholic Women's Organization here in Uganda. When I went to Malawi, there were women there who were fighting. But the president of Africa told me that, Florence, when you go to your own country, to avoid this, you do things like this, do things like this. And now that is what I'm doing. You have to consult. And me now, we discuss. With the secretary, we discuss. Now we have the women who come to serve in the church by vote. Then now with WUCO, we have women who are supporting the church voluntarily. They are corporate women. You don't have to vote them. They come by themselves. I am parading these people like this. And because it is the beginning, Assumpta is the president of both. But when it comes to her handing over, she will hand this to the other ones who left
Succession.
and hand over this one to those who come to serve voluntarily. We have so many Catholic women lying out there doing their own things when they could really be a mass here in the body. They are retired teachers, retired nurses, retired bankers. They are there with the massive knowledge that could cause massive change in the church. And that is what we are trying to do now, to ensure that these two lines of women you don't just go and start undermining people. Me, I see them, even when I invite them, there are those who want to undermine each other. Sometimes I shout and I tell them that, no, this is not how things work. We have to do things like this, and it must be like this. And I tell them, and I write my reports, I submit here, and we move on. So the challenges are many, but they are manageable. Where somebody tries to shut you down, so that what? Eh? No, I refuse. You cannot pull me down, as they say. I make sure that what I am doing is good, it is correct. Before my God, I feel I am sincere. And I forge forward.
Forging forward indeed.
You are going to forge forward.
Yes, that
Those
is the goal.
challenges, we shall
That is the
eradicate them.
goal. And so with all these challenges that we are talking about, including women being challenges to fellow women and all these challenges we are experiencing as women execute their roles in the Catholic Church, how can the Catholic Church ensure that the voices and the contributions of women are fully recognized, not just now, but also in the future?
It is now that the family office has been created, which has never been there. It is a very beautiful position and platform for women to articulate what they want. From this office, matters reach decision-making table, and what the women want can be given to them. I don't know that I have picked it well.
Madam Gidudu,
Yes, madam.
our time is first spent. And this conversation is not a conversation that we can hold in just an hour. It's deep, it's
long.
immense,
It's wide.
it's wide. A lot of deliberations and a lot of brainstorming and thought process has to go into what we're discussing. But I just want to stay with you because we have about 3 or 4 minutes left. How do you think women's voices in the church can fully be recognized, not just now, but also in the future? Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad to have to share this my thinking tonight here. We are blessed. Last month, we had a convention in Namugongo with 72 Catholic women leaders who came around to attend that convention, and we found the time was so limited, but we managed to squeeze there a moment where we would get a talk about succession in leadership, so that the people who were there, at least they appreciate that if somebody is in office, another one must come on and take it on. So we believe that if we could get similar seminars or similar workshops, people will appreciate or we understand what they should do, and they support each other both in church and in the community. And we believe that if the Catholic women out there should not just sit back and watch space. They like using that word. For me, I'm sitting and watching the space. Let them rise up. Let them rise up and support each other in all circumstances. Help the youth so that the youth can love being a woman leader or live as a proper woman, But we still sitting back, that idea of sitting back and watch space, I don't like it, and people use it a lot.
Yes, there is no sitting back and watching this space.
They
They like that. Involved.
They like
As we conclude, I just want to hear your thoughts on the church traditional domination or male leadership Do you feel it excludes valuable perspectives of women who could bring very important discussions and decisions to the table? Madam Florence?
Okay. Now, when we talk about the women's contribution or their decision making, we have levels in the church. But when you go to the parish level and you listen to the parish council also sometimes has women. And when they talk from there, the priests speak these things. And the priests again also have their own platforms where they meet. Some of them take that information there and you find it implemented. It will not be that the woman has said it. I mean,
Brought it up.
Has taken it there, but it will reach there. So what we are trying to say is that we are not going to struggle that we want high positions. Already me, I'm contented with what we have and the church structure. When you go to the parish, the women are there, they can say something. And it comes up to the platform. So I'm really not complaining around that because it is manageable. We are handling it. Even these things, it is related to what we say that women can still do a lot. And I know where they are given an opportunity to speak, they speak. Like sometimes when I'm told to say something to the commission is like the board of our department. I go there and articulate my things properly. And you'll find that it has reached the bishop's conference. And you find that we are doing. I've never been told to stop working. If I was not doing things the right way, I would have been told that Florence out of this place. But I'm still there, and I know that there are women down there also who can contribute through the structure from down there, and it can be implemented. These are things we want to maintain. We want to maintain sensitization. We want to remain with awareness raising. We want all the women to get up and be on the board. Once you are in a certain cluster, even now the UCWA, the bishops know that there is a Uganda Catholic Women's Apostolate. And the president, they know, because they commissioned her support team, which she mentioned here. So women still are required here and there. And I'm really sincerely appealing that they should be listened to. And we have our own constituency inside the household that nobody can challenge. Our responsibility there. So that's what I want.
As we close off, I think our time is really fast spent. There is a woman out there who wants to get involved in church leadership of service. Madam Gidudu, what advice would you give them? Where should they start?
There are many avenues. There are quite a number of avenues. Starting from their small Christian communities, you can realize that this person can manage this one can manage the Bible reading, another one can explain, another one can elaborate. Then we also encourage women to join the lay apostolate movements, because when they are there, they are praying, they are praising the Lord, they are glorifying, and they learn even how to manage the religious affairs of life. And most times you find when you've got a religious movement like a charismatic, like Legion of Mary, if there is a man, the women all sit back and they look at only the man talking, and he's supposed to be the chairman, he's supposed to be the zone leader, the women sit back. So I would encourage women that in whatever movement they join, they should also come up and be able to participate and even lead the rest.
Last remarks, Madam Florence.
I want to take this opportunity to thank the UTV, Catholic Television, UNCCLA. I want to thank you, Deborah, for taking us through this experience. But my plea to the women is that continue working together, respect authority. Even us here at the top level, you have to know your leaders. And I appreciate the president here, because after they elected her, she remained knowing that we caused her presence in that office. So respecting authority is very, very important. And we need this type of collaboration to exist between the women who are working and then those whom we are giving care to. Because we have those who have come to serve, but we need to help those who need to be helped. There are some of them who don't even come out of their homes. They are inside the home. So we are encouraging the women who serve to go there and support each other. But whatever we do at the parish as women, I've always told them, please, don't do things behind the back of your parish priest. Even me here, even when I draft a letter, I have to make sure that Monsignor Kauta reads it, my boss, immediate boss reads it, so that something doesn't go out there and then there's like, what is this? So we have to obey authority if we want to go very far as women. And they say we have to use our soft skills to get what we want. Although some people say, oh no, you have to. No, but today is where you have to obey authority. Thank you so much.
Obedience to authority and soft skills. You can wind that up as Madame Gidudu just in a second as we close.
Thank you, Madam. Yeah, I wish to thank UCTV for hosting us tonight. And of course, Uncle at large, because Uncle made sure that this happens. But I would appeal to women out there, women of Uganda, to understand that we are not stopping here. You Catholic Women Apostolate doesn't stop here in Uganda. We also belong to the African region organizations. We also belong to the World Union of Catholic Women Organizations. Please, we are appealing to you to make sure that you come, as we have planned seriously that on 29th July, come this year, women of Uganda and the women coming from all over Africa and other continents, we are going to have our pilgrimage to Namgongo. So we are inviting all of you in the world and
conference.
yeah, we have the conference being starting on 28th July, ending on 1st August. But 29th has been a special day that we have requested to enter the doors, the holy doors of Namgongo as women in the world.
So,
thank you.
So who do I send this invoice to for advertising? Is it you?
Both of us. Both of us.
Okay, so it has really been nice having you, and thank you so much for the presentation and your views. Clearly, this debate cannot get done today. The role of women in the church is an ongoing debate. There's so much in-depth and so many layers to it that we just can't finish today. But what we are thankful of is the women's contribution in the church and how impactful it is. We are also very thankful for you who has been watching, wherever you've been watching us, beyond the borders of Uganda and within the country. Thank you so much for staying with us on UNCCLA Listens and Speaks. It has been the 83rd edition, and I've been Nora Osende to host this show. Do have a good evening.
Thank you.
UCP, good news for all.